Hey, it's Peter Voogd, author of the best-selling book 6 Months to Six Figures and founder of the prestigious course, The Entrepreneur Breakthrough. And I'll make this video short because I respect your time at the highest level. And obviously time is all we have. And the only thing that separates the wealthy from the struggling is how they spend their time. And I want to talk about some breakthroughs I've had and a perspective shift and kind of the story I went through and the experience I went through that made me totally think of time management and productivity in a different light in hopes that you get some value, because I went from dead broke and frustrated and discouraged and working 80 hours a week to be able to make 6 and 7 figures in entrepreneurship. I'm going to tell you kind of how that came about, because it's easy to see people that are succeeding and think, oh, they're not like me. I'm different. The reality is they're not. They just view time in a different manner than most people. Now, productivity means something different to everybody. There's not one definition. There's a lot of definitions I've heard that I relate to. A productive life is a life focused and committed to producing and progressing towards your ideal vision, whatever that is, right? The use of time, energy, intelligence, and resources in a manner calculated to move you closer to your meaningful goals. Now, here's for me, understanding productivity. It's not just about results. It's not just about getting things done. It's about creating freedom to be with family, doing what you want, and having 100% control over your future at all times. So one of the shifts I made, the statement I wrote on my planner and had everywhere plastered was, I will be disciplined instead of working all the time. And not knowing these things, you're costing yourself thousands of dollars and thousands of hours if you don't understand these principles that took me the last 12 years to learn. As always, I'm coming from a place of pure value, because what good does it do sitting inside me? I want to teach it so you guys can actually benefit from it and cut your learning curve in half so you don't have to make the same mistakes. Now, have you ever had these challenges? And I'm thinking about going through these struggles, but have you ever had these challenges? Maybe you're going through it right now. Maybe you've tried courses and videos and nothing has worked. I'm taking a chance that you're going to hear time management in a different way than you've heard it before, and hopefully it helps. But have you ever had these challenges? You feel like you're working all the time, but you aren't seeing your results improve. You feel like your business is running you versus you running your business. Your to-do list just keeps growing and growing no matter how much you get done. You feel like when you check off a couple things, there's just more things to add on there, right? You feel like you have to be Superman and do everything yourself because you can't find someone else to do it as good as you or better. And it's hard to trust people because people have let you down in the past. This was definitely me. You feel like no matter what you do, you're just maintaining your business and not producing growth for your future. You read, you watch videos, you try courses, but nothing seems to stick. I was the same way. I want to let you know I wasn't good at productivity and time management. I was very below average. I was at my max capacity working, I thought, 50 hours a week. And here's the crazy thing. I went to society. I went to my parents. I went to people in my community. I grew up in a small town of 7,000 people in Oregon, right? You could see my Oregon boy hat. But I went to society and I asked them, what do I do different? I'm not getting results. I'm frustrated. I'm discouraged. They gave me the answer, and man, was it wrong? I wish I would have known then it was wrong. They just said, work harder, work more, hustle, grind, work harder. So I went to 60 hours a week, still no results. I went to 70 hours a week, and eventually I was capped out at 80 something hours a week, and I wasn't seeing the results improve. And I realized I couldn't work anymore. So if you struggle with productivity, or you know you could be taking more intelligent action in your life and business, I've been there, I can relate. So when I was working 80 hours a week, I had to start asking myself the tougher questions. Like for me, what would it look like if I doubled my productivity? What would it mean to the people around me, to my business, to my family, to my peace of mind, to my freedom, to my success? It would be a huge deal. It would feel amazing, right? But these questions kept coming up in my head. How can I improve productivity when I'm already working at max capacity? And I kept thinking, like, what can I do different? I'm grinding 80 hours a week. I thought I was doing the right thing to get results. My question to myself was, How do we take more time off to get energy and creativity when I don't know what to do next, right? How can I deal with all these distractions that are taking away my attention from what actually matters? How do I systemize my productivity to create results and habits congruent to my most important goals? And how do I figure out what the highest value activities are for me that yield the biggest results so I can leverage those to focus on the bigger things that are my strengths? How can I do these things when the only thing everyone around me says is work harder? So I became obsessed. I went on a journey of self-discovery, and I became obsessed, and I mean obsessed, almost unhealthy, with time management and productivity. And this was 2009 and 10. And because I realized how much freedom and lifestyle meant to me as I got older, I realized the importance. I didn't want to, here's the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make. They only make more money when they work more hours. If you're in a position right now that you're trading time for money, you're going to work till the day you die. And if you're in a position where you're the entrepreneur, you're the CEO, you're a sales professional, and the only way to make more money is to do more appointments or work more hours, that's a trap, and that's scary. You might as well have a high-paying 9-to-5 job. You have to start thinking about how to leverage technology, how to duplicate yourself, how to become more valuable and irreplaceable, how to time block, how to delegate properly, how to identify your biggest productivity killers. So I became obsessed with that because I realized that I wasn't doing any of those things, and I was in a place where if I kept doing that, I was going to get burnt out and quit entrepreneurship and quit sales and end up getting an average job I didn't like, and I didn't want that. That wasn't an option for me. So I had to figure it out. So I read every book I could on time management. I bought every course. I even hired a mentor. I finally, after about 14 months, started to see a real change. Eventually, I started seeing my results go up and my freedom increase. And like I said, I learned things like how to duplicate myself, how to leverage different technology, how to train, how to hire, how to create a culture, tactics that help me become more valuable, how to time block. I learned this thing called the 80-20 rule, which you've heard about. I heard of this thing called the 60-20-60 principle that I learned that was a game changer that probably made me an extra $100,000 that next year. The delegation rule. If someone can do something 80% as good as you, delegate it right away. The brain dump exercise. And I learned how to identify my biggest productivity killers. And I became obsessed. And here's the scary thing. When I started doing these things, people started saying, hey, that's not duplicatable. You can't do that. There's no way. You have this and this and this. And they didn't realize I was from a small town. I didn't have anything given to me. I didn't have any crazy education. I didn't have any experience. So I became obsessed with, yes, getting results for myself. But once people said it wasn't duplicatable, I started teaching it to my sales team. And for me, I went from working 80 hours a week and struggling to pay bills to making 6 figures, working 25 to 30 hours a week, and eventually 7 figures working the same and sometimes less. I don't say this at all to impress you, but to share with you it's not your fault. Okay, but it's time to change. Our society says things like it's all about hard work. It's all about experience. It's not about experience anymore. It's not about age anymore. It's not about where you're from anymore. I know 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds making 6 and 7 figures and broke 40-year-olds, right? So it's not about just those. Don't delegate too soon, people say. You have to wake up at 4 a.m. You have to believe in yourself. Here's the scary thing. If you think you have to believe in yourself, good luck. How can you believe if you haven't gotten results yet? So that was my biggest problem at first that held me back was people are like, you have to believe you can be good at time management. And I'm thinking, how can I believe that if I've never been good and I've never gotten results? To be honest, I didn't believe in myself till after I made 6 figures. So here's the catch here. Even if you don't have to believe. So don't believe that. That's BS. That's a myth. You don't have to believe that you can become amazing at time management. You just have to get it in your head, figure out why you want to be good, and then take the necessary actions. And belief will catch up once you get real results and see progress, right? So you don't have to have the answer. Another breakthrough for me in this journey of self-discovery was I thought I always had to have the answer. And one of the biggest reasons I failed at the beginning was I thought I needed to know everything, and I was Superman where I was doing everything myself. And what happens is you get burnt out on even the things that you love. So you start resenting things you love because you're doing everything. That's why delegation was so important. But you don't have to have the answer. And it's not about working harder or smarter. It's about working right based on your industry, based on where you're at and what stage you're at in your business. So like I said, I know 15, 16, and 17-year-olds. Some are on my academy. Some are people I've met at conferences. I'm speaking in Mexico in the next couple of days. I just spoke in Greece. I've spoken in Dubai and Tokyo. I've spoken all over the world because I got really good at time management and how to maximize my value as a human being. Okay? So once again, it's not about age. It's not about experience. It's about cutting your learning curve in half. It's about following a blueprint that actually works, that's relevant. So fast forward a couple years. I kept getting better and better. And finally, after 14 months, I kind of created my own system. I didn't know it was a system at the time, but I created a system that worked for me, that helped me be able to travel the world and continue getting results. I was able to leverage technology, build a team, duplicate myself, and understand exactly how to maximize time management and productivity. So 2015 comes along, and I kept getting the question, how do I get more done in less time? How do I travel like you? I'm stuck in my job. I'm working 70 hours a week. I don't have enough time. I need more time. So I took another year to really think about my most important strategies, tactics, actions I took to maximize my productivity. And I asked my email list, and I got a couple thousand responses. And almost the number one thing people wanted to know was how to maximize time, how to maximize productivity, how to view and look at time, how to leverage time, things like that. Successful people buy time so they can do things that create more time for them and more results. So took me a whole year, but I created something called the Entrepreneur Breakthrough. And the reason you probably haven't heard of this is because we launched it and then we closed it. It sold out and we closed it that year. This was 2016. We made it exclusive. We decided to lower the price and sell it to those in our inner circle in our Game Changers Academy, and that's it. But this last couple weeks, so many people are asking me on every platform, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, my email, about time management. And why I felt like this was the right time to share it with you is it's getting tougher and tougher to focus with all the distractions, the constant interruptions, evolving technology, the massive information overload. And if you don't understand productivity and time management, you will forever be a slave to your business. And there's only really one success, and that's to be able to live life on your terms, your own way. And you'll never do that if you don't understand time management and productivity. And if you don't value your time, you can't expect anybody else to, right? And knowing your worth is the value. Understanding how to raise your worth and raise your value is the game. And you're leaving thousands on the table not knowing some of these principles, strategies, and tactics that I've learned that's taken me 12 plus years to figure out. I'm not going to say I've mastered it, but I feel like I'm in the top 1% of how to maximize time. Lastly, it's important because you'll have more time for the things you love and the things that you actually care about, the things that keep you fascinated and engaged. Because think about it. Whatever you are now, you're 10 times more of that in the future. If you're not that good at time management now, it just multiplies in the future. If you get good now, it just multiplies in the positive direction. And I want you with absolute certainty and clarity to know every single thing you do is the most efficient and effective thing you can do. So you know when you're with family, you're not thinking about work. You don't have to get up at 4. I talked to Gary Vaynerchuk years ago. I did an interview with him. And we were talking about mornings, and he's like, people are so obsessed with mornings. It doesn't matter when you wake up. It matters what you do while you're awake. And I never forgot that because so many people are obsessed with like morning routines. Get up at 4 a.m. It's not about when you get up. It's about when you have the most willpower. Some people work well at night. Some work well in the mornings. But don't trick yourself with thinking you have to work at a certain time. That's something that I talk about as well. But this is hands down one of the best trainings I've ever created. And it took me quite a while, but rightfully so, because I wanted to put my heart and soul and passion and my experience into this. And the responses have blown me away. So you can click the link below. It's theentrepreneurial.breakthrough.com to kind of learn more about it and discover, for me, how to exponentially, these are kind of the main points that I want to cover, how to exponentially grow your income consistently month after month, because your job as an entrepreneur is to produce results in your business whether you feel like it or not. How to at least double your productivity while working less. How to identify your biggest productivity killers and create prevention plans for them, because if you don't have a plan to interrupt your interruptions, your plans will always be interrupted. How to gain absolute clarity on your highest value activities, and how to become irreplaceable in the new economy and double your prices, right? If you're serious about success, I'd recommend taking advantage of this right away. And because it won't be around again, it's going to go back up to full price. There's a discount because of the holiday season. My team and I created, after a lot of people asking for it, a 50% off for a very limited time. It's going to be gone within the next 24 hours. You see on the page below, you could click the link below or above. It's going to expire. You might even be watching this video and it's back up to full price. And I'll tell you right now, even full price, the value is 1,000 times the price, because you actually get lifetime access. So you can access on your terms. You can get it for your sales team, for yourself. But what would it be worth to you to maximize your time and to know in the next couple years you're doing everything you can to live life on your terms? And if you want to do personal mentorship with me, it usually costs $5 or $10 grand a month. Usually I do $3,000 an hour, and I don't really take any clients on anymore. If it's one day with me, it's 10 to 15 grand. I charge $20,000 to speak on stage. And in honor of this holiday, we decided to make it live again for like the next 24 hours, like I said, because you kept asking for it. So instead of those prices, you get it 50% off. We started the price off. I'll just tell you straight up. I'm not going to hide anything. There's no sales pitch. It's just me coming from the heart. This could really change the game for you. And I've taken a lot of courses. I've spent over $100,000 on courses and mentorships and seminars and all these things the last 10 or 12 years, and maybe 10% work. So I get if you're a little skeptical, but we tried to make sure that this was the go-to time management and productivity training and masterclass for you that actually is proven to give you results. So we started off the price at $997. We took it down for our inner circle members to $597 was the discounted price. You actually get 50% off that for only $297. Not only is it proven by hundreds of entrepreneurs, but it's now 50% off the discounted price. So you can actually get started for a discounted investment of $127 or $297. And you're going to want to invest in this masterclass because this affects every other area of your life and business. There's nothing that's made a bigger difference on my success than understanding time management and productivity. You're going to love the confidence you have with the knowledge of building a life and a business on your terms. You're going to enjoy the financial freedom you get. And my goal is in the next couple of years, you say, the reason I own all these properties, the reason I have an amazing, thriving business, and I have an amazing family, I have financial freedom, I have peace of mind, I could do what I want, is because back in whatever day you invested, back a couple years ago, I took a chance, I bet on myself, and I invested in the entrepreneurial breakthrough. And that's why I have all these things. There's nothing more valuable than time invested wisely. You're only one system away from taking your business and life to a whole new level. And remember, 1 or 2 perspective shifts could yield you an extra $30, $40, $50, $100, $200,000 this next 12 months. And the next year doesn't start January 1st, it starts right now, all right? The number one reason people don't succeed at the highest level, and this is the greatest time in human history to succeed. More money is being made than ever before. And when the economy goes down, the money doesn't transfer, or the money doesn't disappear. It just transfers to the successful people who understand how to become more valuable and understand how to maximize productivity. And the number one reason people don't thrive as much as they could, they don't level up like they could, is because they never tell themselves right now matters. There's always some validation. They're always saying someday, someday I'll invest in this course. Not right now, but someday I'll invest in myself. And most people spend the first half of their life saying they're too young and the second half saying they're too old. I challenge you not to be like most people. I challenge you to make up. This is your chance in the next 30 days, 60 days to make up for all the times in your life where you didn't give your all and you did cut corners. Now's the time to not do that and to finally break through to the next level. That's why we named it the Entrepreneur Breakthrough. So I'm excited. If you have any questions, comment below and check out the page for more details. You're going to like it. We also did a couple bonuses. You're going to get $1,000 worth of bonuses. We interviewed 15 of the world's most successful time management experts and people that you guys have heard of. Jarek Robbins, Tony Robbins' son, Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, Eric Thomas, Tom Ferry, all kinds of interviews, John Lee Dumas, and we asked them very specific productivity questions. Just that is worth $997. You get that as a bonus and the 8-week course for 70% off that, which is $297. So check the link below. Thanks again. I appreciate being a loyal follower and a loyal subscriber. I hope you got value from this video. I'm super excited to take you by the hand, help you cut your learning curve in half, and help you have the most productive and effective and fulfilled next 12 months that you've ever had. Talk to you guys soon. See ya.